Last effort, let's go. Go, go, go. Hello and welcome to another episode here on Van's Realism. Today we're going to be talking about Pauline. That's her new nickname, Pauline, because she's lean. Now, I'm kitted out for this video. I've got my Race to Win Cycling Katusha cap, and I'm feeling particularly bangable. So I've got my Bang Me t-shirt on, so I'm kitted out for this video. So here we have Pauline going up the Col du Firstplan, and she's still fresh enough to smile and say, hey, I see you filming me. So Firstplan is a 5.1 kilometer climb at 7%. I think the Tour de France has gone over it once before. And you can see here Pauline's cadence is very good. Her average cadence was 88 for this climb, which is very good. I see a lot of the top pros, when they do their hill climb time trials, they do between 85 and 90 RPM. And then, of course, you've got exceptions. Some pros do over 90, and then Chris Froome even up to 100 RPM for hill climb. She's wearing the white vegan jersey here, and as you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. Temperature was quite low. This was at about 9:30, and it was 13 degrees or so. And we're heading into the autumn here for France, so things are going to get a bit colder. So we're going to try and get as many hill climb TTs in before the winter. Winter is not the best time for hill climb time trials, especially for me. I find my watts drop quite a bit when the temperature gets low. How about you? Do your watts drop when the temperature gets low? I know when I go to 0 or so, my watts really start to suffer. Probably lose about 20 watts on my FTP. And Pauline's setup, she's riding mountain bike cleats with mountain bike shoes. So not the lightest setup. Her bike weighs about 8.2 kilos, so not the lightest bike on earth. But she gets it done, she has fun, and that's what it's about, getting out there and actually enjoying what you're doing. That's Pauline's motivation, to go out and do hard efforts. All the hard efforts that she does is for Strava, and it's to see if she can get all the QOMs in the valley. So at the moment, Pauline is third on the leaderboard. She's got a 1 minute and 18-second gap to bridge to first place, and her watts per kilo value is at 4. So Pauline weighed 55.5 this morning, and she did 222 watts. So that means exactly 4 watts per kilo. And the fastest girl on the leaderboard has done 4.3 up here. So it's just a little bit of a gap to bridge. She actually had Ben & Jerry's this morning for breakfast, like fucking half a tub of ice cream for breakfast. And Ben & Jerry's is a little bit high in fat, and she said she did feel a little bit heavy on the bike. Usually she is able to do 230 watts for 20 minutes, and today she was about 8 watts down, which is 3.5% down. So not a best effort today, but still a commendable effort, and well done to Pauline for just going out and getting it done anyway. What do these numbers mean in terms of her ability in the cycling world? So to give you guys an idea what level she's at, I'm going to take a look at the Anticlogging power charts. Now the Anticlogging power chart quantifies the different power levels of riders all the way from untrained to world champion level. So Pauline, her 20-minute power is at just between Cat 1 and UCI Division 3 Pro. Now Cat 1 is the highest racing level in America, just below their continental or domestic pro level. And you've got 3 levels of pro. You've got UCI Div 1, Div 3, Div 2 and Div 1. So in other words, it's Continental Pro, Div 3, Pro Continental, Div 2, and Div 1 is World Tour. So Pauline is between Continental and Cat 1. So that's not too bad for someone who considers herself a fun rider. Her definition of a fun rider is someone that rides just to have fun. One thing worth mentioning in this video as well is Pauline's weight loss. So Pauline started out at 62 kilos 2.5 months ago. And she's basically lost a set of twins. A newborn baby weighs 3.5 kilos, so 7 kilos is a set of twins. 2 buns in the oven, gone. So you can imagine that's made quite a difference to her watts per kilo on the climbs. And as a result, she's getting QOMs in her area. And she's done it all just by being more mindful of what she eats, eating 3 meals a day, not fucking overeating every meal, endless carbs, the river of endless carbs. There's a Nile river and then there's the river of endless carbs. So she was drinking from that river without thinking, drinking without thinking. And as a result, she is getting lean now, hence her nickname Pau-Lean. And she's climbing a lot faster than she did when she just came to France. I remember when we came here in Jan, she was like 62, 63 kilos, and she was struggling to hold 200 watts for 20 minutes. And now look at her, she's doing 230 for 20, and she weighs about 55 kilos. So amazing transformation here from Pauline. The only thing she shouldn't have done though is had Ben and Jerry's for breakfast. But she realized the error of her ways, and next time she's going to have the good old sugar water or syrup for breakfast. She has like this fruit syrup thing that she drinks. I absolutely hate it. It stinks to me, but she enjoys it. So that's all that counts. It's her way of getting the carbohydrates in. I've also noticed that my performance goes down if I have a higher fat breakfast. And the reason for that is because your blood isn't as oxygenated. So when there's more fat in the bloodstream, performance goes down. And it takes about 12 hours for those fat particles to get out of your bloodstream completely. I saw that on Forks Over Knives. People eating like a burger for lunch, and then it takes 12 hours. They show an image of how the fat particles or the concentration of fat particles are in the bloodstream. So that's quite interesting to note there. So next time you should probably not have a higher fat meal. And that's also why the pros have a light breakfast and then they'll go heavier for dinner, because then they have time to sleep, body has time to utilize all those macronutrients, and you won't have fat in your bloodstream the next morning for the race. Y'all might be wondering what time the guys set up here. So the fastest time is 14:07, and that's a World Tour Pro, Martin Tisveld, and he did 6 watts per kilo. So he was absolutely flying up here, and that's after he had already done about 100 Ks. So good performance there. Yours truly is at 15:23. So I'm also about the same time down that Pauline is from the QOM time. So that probably puts me around 5.3 watts per kilo or so. So not too bad. Did that coming off a 2-week break off the bike. So first day, just fucking decided I'm going to smash a segment just to get back in the groove. That was a good way to start the training week again. So that makes me, 4 minutes and 11 seconds faster than Pauline. I better hope I'm faster than Pauline, because if she's faster than me, then y'all know that something is wrong and I'm getting too lean. I'm becoming manorexic. Oh, bro, where did the endless carb river lead you? Rice Mountain and Sprite Fountain, brother. I've realized that with women, if you want them to ride a bike fast, they respond well to having fun and they respond well to praise. So whenever your woman's having a bad day, don't call her out and say, oh, you're so shit and stuff like that, because that's not going to help at all. What you want to do is praise her on what she's doing right. Say your cadence was good, and despite not having the best breakfast, you still rode really well. They respond really well to that. So that's one big tip. If you have a girlfriend or a wife and you just want them to do the best that they can do, and you see their potential, just praise them. Always tell them what's right. And with men, it's not like that. You can be hard on them. You can say, motherfucker, is that the best that you've got? You rode like shit. What are you doing? You're just messing around. You know, you can talk like that to men and they'll respond well to that. But women, you don't want to be hard on them like that. And Pauline has improved a lot since I changed my approach. I used to criticize her quite a lot, and that didn't help at all. It just shut her down. So lesson learned. And Pauline, she's having fun on the bike. It's an adventure for her. This is the ideal environment for her. In Pretoria, things weren't good. It really sucked to ride. I mean, she even left her bike in France when she came to stay with me in Pretoria. It was just too boring riding the same lap over and over, just never having any novelty. And she has plenty of novelty here. Even though she's done most of the routes, there's always a new route that you can ride around here. And Pauline is always exploring something different. Even if it's just a slight variation of a loop, there's always something she can find. And she loves riding here in the mountains with the forests and the fresh air. We don't have that polluted city air here, so that does wonders for us. And you can see Pauline is thriving in this environment, so that's great. And this video wouldn't be complete without Pauline herself. So tell us, baby, how did it feel?
Well, it was fine at the beginning, but I was pushing too many watts at the beginning, and I don't know, after 10 minutes I was done already. So I did what I could, but the watts were going a bit too low.
Okay. I actually checked on Strava. Your first 5 minutes was 240 watts.
Yes, exactly.
So that made you feel a little bit gassed later on.
Yeah, it was a rookie mistake. Well, I knew I had to aim for 230, but I was feeling fine, at the beginning.
But I was talking about it earlier in the video. If you just had like sugar for breakfast, then you would have probably been fine. And we were talking about it this morning. On Doisetep, I did like 367 watts, and I would usually start my efforts at 390, and it wouldn't fade too much. So it's just about getting that sugar in your cells. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, this morning I did something I never do usually. The thing is that I was hungry at 7 a.m. I wanted to eat something, and then we're supposed to start only at 9. I said, no, I'm not going to last for 2 hours with just syrup or some liquid calories. So I ate the Ben & Jerry's. The vegan cookie dough.
Vegan cookie dough.
Yeah.
Choc chip cookie.
Yeah, just half a tub. It was apparently too heavy.
Yeah. I talked about it earlier in the video. Your watts were down by about 3.5%.
Not my best watts, for sure.
But we know on a good day you'll do 230 watts for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I was aiming for 230. But
last week you did 225 on Gashni, and that was 29 minutes.
Yes.
So you definitely have it in your legs. And tell us a little bit about your weight loss.
Oof.
Is it going well?
Yeah, for the last 3 months, I think, I lost like 6 kilos, right?
Something it was like 2.5 months. I told them that you lost 7 kilos in 2.5 months. Because you started out at 62 and you pretty much 55 kilos now.
Yeah, losing 6 kilos makes a big difference on a climber. That's amazing. And I feel great, like I can push more watts than before because I can train properly this year. Such a big difference. Because this time I'm not flying, I'm not changing countries all the time. I'm here and focus on these amazing valleys and climbs.
Are you going to sign a contract next year? Go pro?
Never. No. I'm really too slow on the descents.
Do you envy those pro cycling women?
No.
The Strava life is the good life. Strava translator, YouTuber life.
Yeah. You just do your climb and then you come back home and that's it. There's no stress from racing and riding in a bunch, descending full gas. No, this is not for me. I like my amateur Strava rides.
You actually used to be quite fast on the descent.
At the beginning, yes. When I was a noob, I was fast.
Remember that time in Thailand when I tried to slow you down on the descent and it was raining because you were fucking flying down there like Vincenzo Nibali. And then I came close to you and I pulled the front brake too hard and it was a slippery slide. And I nearly slid into a minibus coming from the front. And I'm like, babe, just slow down. And then that seems to, like ever since that day, you were so triggered. And I never see you going fast on the downhills anymore.
Now that day was crazy. And then I became wise.
I crashed for you.
Yes, thank you.
And you've actually never really crashed on the bike.
No, not really.
Remarkably. And how long have you been at this? How many years have you been riding?
I started cycling in 2015 in September. This is when I got my first road bike.
Okay, so you've been at it for 5 years now. Consistently, or did you take some breaks?
No breaks, not really, just like a few weeks in winter, but that's it. Anyway, when I started, I was in Lyon in France, and then I came here in northeast France, where there are plenty of mountains. It's a good motivation. You know, the climb calls you. When you're a real cyclist, you hear the climbs calling you, like, hey, you haven't done me for too long, come here.
You don't use magic mushrooms.
I'm just kidding, okay? Anyway, I really loved cycling since the beginning, and since then, yeah, I caught the cycling virus, if you say. And then I went to Thailand, came back in France, went back to Thailand and cycled quite a lot there. And then I went to South Africa and even I rode there. That was dangerous. I wouldn't do that again.
You seem very passionate when you talk about how riding is in South Africa.
Yeah.
I don't think people can really understand what it's like until they actually go there and see it with their own fucking eyes.
I'm sure there are plenty of countries where cycling is quite dangerous, but where we are now, it's quite safe. Huh?
Yeah.
You can say that too. The only problem here is the motorbikes in northeast France, because the German bikers, you know, they cannot ride in their own mountains with the motorbikes. They come to our place and make so much noise, huge bunches of motorbikers. That's quite dangerous sometimes. Huh? You know, they ride in the middle of the road and then...
Show us a German biker at a rave party.
Ah. No, I respect the Germans who ride their bicycles.
Yeah, not motorbikes.
Not motorbikers.
What about e-bikes?
I think that's fine. It's not noisy. It's safe. No problem.
Just don't put your e-bike times on Strava.
Yeah, just please don't do
Don't be a dick.
But yeah, electric bikes are great for grandpas and grandmas who still want to go out there and exercise a bit, and when they don't have the strength to reach their house at the top of the hill, you know, that's nice. I think I will never have an electric bike. I will always be strong, or quite strong at least.
Even when you become Grandma Deuce.
If I'm Grandma Deuce, then I can still ride to the supermarket. No electricity required.
Just no climbs.
Maybe.
You think you'll still be climbing at 100?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
There are some old cyclists that still climb by themselves.
Good to hear.
I don't plan to degenerate when I get older. Maybe I'll be a bit worn, you know, worn and tired maybe, but that's all.
And tell us about your diet currently. Are you still eating a lot of fruit?
Yeah, I have usually one big meal of fruit in the morning, first thing in the morning. That's my routine. For the last, 10 years, I think I had something else than fruit in the morning, only like maybe 10 times, something like that.
Wow, that's incredible.
I love my fruit.
Yeah.
I have to start with fruit. And then for lunch, sometimes I have fruit, sometimes I have starches and something else. And the dinner is usually starches. I'm more open to junk food at the moment, but I don't eat too much of it. And there happened to be half a tub of Ben & Jerry's this morning in the fridge, and there was no ripe fruit. So I said, what am I going to do now? I'm hungry. I want to eat something solid.
Ben & Jerry's was calling you.
Yeah, sorry. I won't do it again. I think I was still digesting that thing. Anyway, the ride is coming to its end.
Can you just show us your belly?
Yeah.
Yeah, just turn around. Let's see how much of a belly you got there. No, but show us from the side. Yeah, Pauline is becoming lean. Wake up like Gandhi and go to bed like Gandhi. Yeah. That's your new mantra.
Yeah. And the ride is almost over. I'm almost at the end of the climb, suffering a lot, puffing and huffing.
You sound like Maria Sharapova on the bike.
I don't know who she is.
Famous tennis player.
Okay, I can mock me more. And I'm glad it's over. And I will do better next time. I will pace myself better.
Good stuff, baby. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Sherry.